Hi there, folks. Welcome to AANMC's webinar on finding your fit and how to choose an ND school. My name is Dr. Joanne Yanez, and I'm the Executive Director for the Association of Accredited Naturopathic Medical Colleges. We have a huge contingent of folks from the schools with us today to answer your questions. So before we get started on all that, we're just going to go through a little bit of housekeeping. So we're doing the welcome right now. Everyone is in listen only mode. Please use the Q&A just for general questions. You can private chat each one of the folks from the schools. So during the course of the talks today, if you have questions for one or more of the programs, please feel free to send direct chats directly to them. They are going to be checking for those. And that would be really a great way to just initiate conversation. We are recording this, so if you miss anything, we will send that out. And any questions, always have our email, which is info@aanmc.org. Today's event is not for continuing education purposes, and hopefully you will get what you need out of it. So we just put up a poll just to get a gander of who is joining us. So if you can fill that out, that would be fabulous. So today we're going to be talking about just a few facts in general about naturopathic medicine and some application requirements. And then you're going to get a little 5-minute glimpse into each one of the programs and through their admissions counselors. And they're going to hopefully help you understand some of the differences between the schools. And then we'll go into some Q&A. And from there, if you have any additional questions, you can always reach out to the schools directly. So with that, what makes naturopathic medicine special? One thing that you will find naturopathic doctors across the globe agree upon are the 6 principles of naturopathic medicine: doing no harm, respecting the healing power of nature, identifying and focusing on the cause of illness, the doctor's role as teacher in a patient's healthcare journey, addressing the whole person and preventing whenever possible. And that is one thing that naturopathics folks from all over the world agree upon. And as far as how NDs address various different concerns, there's something called the therapeutic order. And so what I have up on the screen is really how a naturopathic doctor thinks. When we are going and approaching any type of patient issues, that bottom of the triangle there, establishing the foundations for optimal health, that is really where NDs shine. So that is going to be things like stress, sleep, nutrition, GI health, your social support, your physical exercise, all of the things that really are foundational for having good health. At the very top, so in the middle are going to be maybe therapeutics like herbs and acupuncture, physical manipulation, and so on. And at the very top would be suppressive things like drugs and surgery. So it is not that NDs are opposed to any of those types of higher force interventions. It's just usually not going to be first line approach when an ND is addressing care. How do NDs in practice use their degree? They are research scientists. They work in the natural product industry. They can be public health administrators, consultants, etc. There are lots of folks who are speaking and writing books in addition to their clinical practice. And so one of the things that folks talk about is really the flexibility in the various different ways that NDs work. So up here is from a survey that we did in 2020 that talks about some of the areas that NDs really thrive in as far as what the treatment plans look like. And so you'll see in that little square on the top left, GI, nutrition, women's health, hormones, etc., mind-body medicine. Those are all foundational to the naturopathic approach. And you'll see that most NDs are using some of or all of that. This is a slide also from our 2020 survey talking about where NDs practice, so you can get a snapshot whether you're in Canada or the US, just to understand what types of places NDs work. And then we're going to talk a little bit about curriculum. So one of the things that is really foundational for naturopathic medical education is that there are accreditation standards, and there is a baseline minimum of what the curriculum has to include. And so you are going to have at any one of the schools that's present today a minimum of 4,100 hours that includes all of your biomedical foundational science courses. I call them the ologies. And then your clinical education, which is going to be how you're going to treat patients. And then in that, woven through that are the naturopathic therapeutics, like I said, nutrition, mind-body medicine, lifestyle counseling, homeopathy, hydrotherapy, et cetera. So all of those are going to be woven through your education as you're getting those 4,100 hours. And then you go to clinical rotations, which are 1,200 minimum clock hours that is going to be hands-on with clinicians, seeing patients. And so that is really going to be that team care approach to helping people and honing your craft. So with that, whoops, what happened here? I'm actually going to turn it over to the schools. So here's a map with the programs that are with us today, and really excited to have our folks here to tell you what they do best. So let's find your fit. So with us today from Bastyr, we have Carrie Scully and Daniel Van Arsdale with the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine in both campuses, the Boucher campus in Vancouver and the Toronto campus. We have Hazel and Grace at NUHS. Cassie is with us, and Grace from NUNM, along with Brendan, and then Sonoran, we have Jane and Jody. So lots of folks here today who are going to hopefully help you better understand what they do really, really well. So with that, we're going to start with Bastyr.
Thank you. My name is Daniel Van Arsdale. I'm an admissions advisor at Basyr University and recently with the Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine program. As you can see here, Basyr's ND curriculum uses a systems-based approach, and this program is full-time in-person medical school experience, which has two main components: basic science and clinical practice. We emphasize academic rigor with practical experience. Instructors use active and hybrid learning to provide flexible learning time and supporting different types of learning styles. And students can easily transfer between, we have campuses in San Diego and in Seattle, or Kenmore, which is just north of Seattle. And students can easily transfer between campuses. I will turn it over to my cohort, Carrie.
Hi, my name is Carrie Scully, and I'm actually new to Bastyr and supporting the naturopathic doctor program. And one of the things that I have found is the good community here. I see students supporting each other and professors supporting their students and very passionate about their program, our program. And the other thing I wanted to share is kind of what the clinic experience that you'll have. You'll be developing your skills that you learn in classroom in our clinical training. And we have 7 locations in Seattle, as well as 5 in San Diego. And you can specialize in IV therapy, mind-body medicine, or homeopathy. And it's a teaching clinic type of experience where you're going to have a team approach to the care and working with other students in a team underneath a supervisor or a resident. And the other part is also specializing in a second credential. You could add on to another year from making it 5 years. We have dual degrees in acupuncture, East Asian medicine in Washington, counseling and health psychology for California and Washington, and public health in Washington. And then there's also functional medicine in both locations. And then if you're interested in the pediatrics or community health, there is a specialization for the curriculum concentration in those areas. So there's some variety of options there for you, and you can work with us as your advisors to see what would work best for you.
Thank you so much. Anything else? Okay.
No, that's it.
All right. CCNM, you are up.
Awesome. Hello. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining this session today. It was nice to virtually meet everyone. So I'd like to introduce myself just quickly. My name is Hazel Alazar. I am the Student Services Officer at the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, also known as CCNM. We do have two campuses, one in Toronto, Ontario, and the other in the Metro Vancouver area, also known as our Boucher campus. I also have my colleague joining me today. Her name is Grace Lumba. She is the Student Services Officer at the Boucher campus. So if there's any questions you'd like to put in the chat for her, just go ahead and direct it there. To give everybody sort of an overview of our four-year postgraduate program, it consists of case-based learning. So you truly get your hands involved right away into the program, where in year one, you'll be introduced into clinic, and then you continue this into year two. And then later on in your program, around year 3 and 4, you get much deeper into things, and you are a secondary intern in year 3. And then year 4, you're a primary clinic intern. Both campuses have on-site teaching clinics. So Toronto has the Robert Shad Naturopathic Clinic, and our Boucher campus has the Boucher Naturopathic Medical Clinic. And these clinics offer treatments of areas of sports medicine, digestive health, pediatrics, geriatric care, etc. You also have the options of internships within the 8 community health centers across the GTA, so the Greater Toronto Area. And we have 6 community health centers across the Metro Vancouver and Victoria area. So next slide, please. So we know school is important, obviously, and we believe that student life is just as important as well. Mental health and wellness is a top priority to us at CCNM. That's why we've made sure that we have sort of adequate supports in place for our students. We actually have a manager of student life, and she's actually located in our Boucher campus, or Metro Vancouver location. And she's responsible for ensuring our student voices are heard. And her job is essentially to develop all aspects of student life and works with our student leadership team to encourage this engagement. One of the mental health supports that we have available for our students is an online counseling service called Empower Me, which is basically a confidential support service available 24/7, 365 days a year. In addition to this, we have on-site counselors at both campuses for in-person visits as well. Another wellness sort of support program we offer is called our Thrive program, which provides students with wellness activities and resources throughout the year. CCNM's Thrive mission is to really facilitate, host, and inspire opportunities for people to think about, talk about, practice skills, and that will support optimal health and resiliency and a shared sense of community at CCNM. And some of those past activities included like nature walks, yoga classes, meditation circles. We've had therapy dogs come in, which is a very popular one at CCNM during those really tough exam times, which is coming up actually for this month. Our research department is a leader in evidence-based research. Our research group is very active at CCNM. It is something that we're very proud of as well. As students really enjoy it because they get to, of the many opportunities essentially that they get to be involved in. We currently conducted more than 10 million studies in cancer care and approaches to treating diabetes. And some of those research opportunities included like our annual research day, where students have the opportunity, and even faculty and some research department members to share their research work with the college community. We had a research club meetings where there's a feature studied by featured guest speakers, graduates or current students. But there's always sort of ongoing opportunities throughout that and us students able to get involved in. However, towards the end of the program, as you graduate at CCNM, you'll have the opportunity to learn about the various sort of career opportunities available when you graduate at our annual career fair. You'll have the opportunity to meet with clinic and other sort of business owners that could be interested in setting up externships, creating residencies, and even network with leaders in the field. And this usually happens around the fall, so around this time. And it really just helps our students and grads make that transition from school to work and the possibility of getting hired at these events as well. Residency opportunities are offered through the ANMC, usually every February, and it can range from 1 to 2 years. And then those residency sites sort of include like integrative and multidisciplinary clinics, clinics focused on oncology and naturopathic research. Currently, there are 6 CCNM affiliated recent residency positions available in Toronto and the Metro Vancouver area as well. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, hi again. My name is Cassie Canchola, and I am the manager for admissions operations at National University of Health Sciences. I'm excited to share some of our program strengths with you today. So NUHS is one of few schools in the US that offer a Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine degree, as well as Doctor of Chiropractic, and master's and a doctorate degree in acupuncture. Students at NUHS have the great opportunity to complete multiple programs through dual enrollment. And students do save time and tuition when completing multiple programs due to shared coursework between the programs. For example, for ND students, adding on the Doctor of Chiropractic Medicine program, it would only add on an additional 4 trimesters to earn that second doctorate degree. Some unique clinical opportunities. Students do complete a clinical internship during the last 3 trimesters of the ND program. Most of the internship is completed at our NUHS Whole Health Center on campus here. And then the clinic on campus does include a naturopathic dispensary and hydrotherapy suite. The hydrotherapy suite includes many rooms for multiple types of hydrotherapy modalities, including a sauna, Russian steam baths, and peat immersion baths. Students complete a hydrotherapy rotation in the second phase of the program before starting the clinical internship. So you are in the clinic gaining experience prior to that internship as well. Then as an intern in the last year of the program, you do have access to these therapies for your patients. Preceptorships can be done in the final trimester of the program. And if you know an ND you're interested in interning with, you may get it approved by your clinician. There are also many established approved preceptors for our interns to choose from, as well as, these include a homeopathic clinical rotation at the Center for Integral Health in Lombard, Illinois, and an opportunity to intern at Yellowstone Naturopathic Clinic in Montana. That's a really popular one with our students. And then business courses are included in the curriculum, and students learn how to start, manage, and grow a practice in these courses. Our alumni department, I wanted to mention too, also helps with assisting graduates in by maintaining a list of job opportunities on our website and equipment sales for students building their practices. Okay, next slide. And there are many opportunities to be active on campus and in the campus community and within the profession, with over 30 active clubs on campus. And then we do offer on-campus apartments, and this gives students more time to study and enjoying campus life. Apartments include efficiency studios, 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms. And then we do have a fitness center on campus that was just remodeled in 2020 with new cardio machines, weight area, a spin room, and stretching room, as well as 24-hour campus security. And just want to mention, campus is in a suburban town called Lombard, Illinois. It's about 15 miles away from Chicago. So lots of things to do in the area. Within the Lombard area, and then downtown in the city. And Lombard was recently named one of the most affordable city-like suburbs in America. Just wanted to mention, if you're interested in attending any virtual or on-campus visit events, I have that QR code there to the right. We do have a Student for a Day event coming up December 1st, an on-campus event, and then our ND information session November 14th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, NUNM, you are up.
Hello, my name is Grace. I am the Interim Director of Admissions at NUNM, the National University of Natural Medicine. Our university is 67 years old. It is the oldest accredited naturopathic university in North America and the leader in natural medicine education. Our mission is to advance education, healthcare, and research in the art and science of natural medicine. NUNM was named one of the best med schools in 2022 by the Princeton Review, and Portland, Oregon was named one of the world's greatest places in 2022 by Time Magazine. We have over 3,000 alumni who practice in nearly every state and countries abroad. Something that sets NUNM apart is that we are the only school that has the first year online program. There's many benefits to doing the first year online. One of the biggest things that I like to point out is that it helps students transition. If you haven't been in school for a while, it's a great way to get back into it. It also helps you move. Some of our students are moving across the globe or across the country, and this gives you a solid year to do any sort of those preparations. If you do choose to do your first year online, there is a summer intensive that will help you get up to speed with all of your fellow in-person classmates. Next slide. In your first year, you'll work on your 1,254 hours of clinical experience. We believe in experiential education, so the more experience outside the classroom that you have, the more prepared you'll be for post-graduation. We are an urban campus, so our clinic focuses on underserved communities. We also have partnerships with other community clinics in the city. One of them is Rosehaven. This is a day shelter and community center for women and children experiencing houselessness. This slide will show you what to expect each year of your clinical experience. We do have 4 and 5 year tracks. The great thing about this is that you pay per credit, so you're not paying extra for that 5th year. There's many things that you can do by expanding it to 5 years. It helps you have more of a school life balance, as well as adding additional dual degrees. So another great thing about NUNM is that we have the opportunity for dual degrees, and those are classical Chinese medicine with herbal medicine specialization, acupuncture, nutrition, global health, and clinical research. Adding these degrees can enrich your experience and help prepare you for life after graduation. We also have certificates in homeopathy, midwifery, also known as natural childbirth, qigong, and shiatsu. If you liked this little PowerPoint and it makes you feel like you want some more, you're in luck. For more information about our programs or life as an ND student, you can visit nunm.edu, our admissions event page. There you can schedule a campus visit, meet one-on-one with an admissions counselor, get connected with a current student, sign up for an exploration day, see a classroom. You can also sign up for many of our virtual Q&As about all of our programs. And if none of that satisfies you, you can also email admissions@nunm.edu for any questions that you have about the process, our programs, how our day's going, whatever you'd like. And if you are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or TikTok, we are too, and you should give us a follow. That concludes my PowerPoint. My name is Grace King, and you just listened to NUNM, the National University of Natural Medicine.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Grace. That was a lot of fun. It's going to be hard to follow up on that act. Hey, everybody. I am Jane Voorhees. I'm with Sonoran University. I'm one of the admissions representatives. And my partner, Jody Durham, is joining us today. So join us shortly in our breakout room for any specific questions. I am happy to introduce Sonoran University here in Tempe, Arizona. We were originally Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine, a 1-degree focused institution, founded in 1992, started with a little tiny class of 42 students. And now we have 370 ND students, plus a total enrollment of 550. We've added degree programs. We now have a research lab right on our campus. We have integrative medicine happening at the Neil Reardon Center. So to dive a little bit deeper, Similar to the other schools, we do, our students get clinical exposure right off in that first year, clinical exposure and training in your 4-year track. We offer a 4-year track or a 5-year track. The purpose that we developed for that 5-year track is to support someone in their sciences. It really splits apart your first year in those basic sciences. So that's kind of where the 5-year track comes into play. And we also offer concurrent degree options with our master's degree programs, clinical nutrition, Chinese medicine, and public health is another one. Also similar, of course, community clinics. We oversee 7 major community clinics around the Valley. Right on our campus is a primary community clinic. We oversee 3 elementary school districts around the Valley. And along with other specific community needs, Center for Victims of Domestic Abuse, Center for HIV/AIDS, communities that just need additional support in specific ways. To help you through those 1,200 plus clock hours, you'll have access to over 70 different elective and field observation sites throughout the Valley here. We also offer honors tracks. So these are going to be year-long, very specific focused, designed for students who have a particular interest within naturopathic medicine. So each track is exclusive. It's centered around your professional and educational development, such as pediatrics. I mentioned 3 elementary school clinics, not just the clinics, but the districts that we support. So we have honors tracks in pediatrics, community health, nature cure, and regenerative medicine. So very specific to our campus is going to be location. Arizona offers a wide scope of practice. Students are able to learn acupuncture within your ND curriculum. Additionally, IV therapy, injection therapy, minor surgery, and prescription rights. You'll have access to in Arizona through licensure in Arizona. Naturopathic doctors have a very wide scope of practice, so you'll learn different modalities, therapies, and ways to diagnose and treat your patients. Obviously, that's one of the biggest benefits of being a naturopathic doctor is that wide array of tools that you will have. On our campus, this brand new botanical research lab, the Rick Scalzo Institute for Botanical Research, where students have access to work, hands-on training, take courses in this lab, state-of-the-art molecular biology, and a phytochemistry laboratory dedicated to new product development, improving existing botanical therapeutics through scientific exploration, really getting down to that molecular level of how these botanicals work. Also very specific to our campus is the Neil Reardon Center for Regenerative Medicine. You can see in that picture there, we have a fluoroscope machine. This is a C-arm or a video x-ray that allows doctors to do precise injections. With this type of access to this equipment, just really optimizes the learning experience for our students. So in the Neil Reardon Center for Regenerative Medicine, you will train with acupuncturists, chiropractors, MDs, naturopathic doctors, manipulation, acupuncture, cupping, injections. Patients are offered prolotherapy, platelet-rich plasma, amnion, umbilical tissue products. So there's a variety of different regenerative to focus on non-opioid, non-surgical approach to pain management. As mentioned there, those are the clinical sites I kind of talked about. If you want to go to the next slide. Unique to Sonoran campus is the Limb Commons. I think that's what most of these photos are. The center of our primary campus is our only campus. We have a couple of buildings and a parking garage, and it's covered with solar panels. So it's wonderful for covered parking in Arizona. And we capture that energy from those solar panels, and it feeds back into this 48,000 square foot LEED Platinum. Limb Commons is the center of our campus. There's open to the public is a vegan cafe. We have a teaching kitchen, state-of-the-art classrooms, the library. Students have access to meditation rooms, the tutoring center, the fitness and workout room, the yoga dance studio. There's just a beautiful building that also houses the Neil Reardon Center, along with the natural medicinary is right there as well. So come on over and join Jody and I in our breakout room when any questions you've got. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So just as a point of clarification, because we're in the webinar, we are not doing breakout rooms. So we are going to direct the questions to the programs and or give you all an opportunity to ask some. I know that some of you all have been answering some of the questions now in the chat. So I'm going to stop my share for just a second here and let's see. And get over to this here to the Q&A. All right. Sorry, I just had to refresh my screen for a moment. Okay, so before we go over to the Q&A, I just wanted to make sure that we had a chance to invite everyone to AANMC's next webinar, which is going to be talking about sleep. And so I don't know if you're like me, but I have definitely had more sleepless nights lately. So Dr. Penny Kendall-Reed is going to be talking to us about that. So please feel free to join us. So now we're going to go into Q&A. So if you have questions for the panel, please put that into the Q&A function of the webinar here so that we can track our questions and what have you. So one question came in regarding supporting international students. Would each of you be able to just give us a quick snapshot on how you support your international community? I'll start with Bastyr, please.
Well, I'll definitely make this quick. Sadly, we don't have strong support for international students. Some of the things that we definitely need to put in place would be internal scholarships, things like that. In the US, I don't know about Canada so much. There's so much money needed up front for individuals to come to the campus that is a barrier at present on our campus.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to that?
Sure, I'd like to speak. In terms of housing, I guess you can say we support our international students if you need a place to stay. We do have a residence on campus, which is great. We do have scholarships and bursaries that are available for all of our students once you've been accepted into the program. So that's something to sort of take off there for you. We do have an international medical graduate program, which is a 2-year MD course. So there is support in place for students, like all the counseling and all that program availability is available for all of our students, international and domestic as well.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just put in the chat as well a link to our international student page with more information, but we do also offer a $1,000 scholarship each trimester to international students starting in the 3rd trimester going through the end of the program, and we give priority to international students for on-campus housing as well. And then our student services department is great in assisting students as well and making sure that they're successful.
Thank you.
I'd like to add as well, very similar to the other schools, you know, once you get admitted, there are scholarships that are available for our current enrolled students. We don't have any on-campus housing, so that is very similar for all students. With finding housing, we do have a group page that once you get admitted, you get to talk to all of the admitted students and current students about helping find housing. Our counselors are very helpful with helping you find the right spot. You might think, oh, maybe this part of Portland is close enough to the school, and we'll let you know, that's a 40-minute drive or whatever it may be. So we're definitely in tune with our international students and help with the paperwork, explaining any sort of cultural things that are happening. And we have student life that helps with that adaptation as well.
Thanks so much. I'm wondering if folks can speak to advanced standing. I know a couple of folks put in responses here, but that's a question we get pretty regularly.
Sure, I can start. So advanced standings are open to those who have graduated from an MD program. We unfortunately don't have much of advanced standing opportunities just because our case-based curriculum. There are opportunities though to transfer from another CNME accredited program. So if you've taken a program elsewhere or whatever it is, we look at some of the credits there to see what we can do, but you still have to go through the admissions process and still apply. We just ask a letter from your senior administrator to basically attach as part of your application. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll go next. We do look at advanced or award advanced standing for students who have completed other first professional programs, whether it's MD, DC programs, DO, so depending, PT, depending what the program is. And then our policy is students do need to first apply to the program and be admitted before our dean will review those transcripts for the advanced standing. But yeah, we're always happy to assist with any questions on that advanced standing process.
I will kind of echo kind of what Cassie just said. Initially, you have to apply and be admitted to the program to be considered for any type of transfer or advanced standing. If you're awarded a transfer of credit towards your ND curriculum, it doesn't shorten the program at all. Based on the clinical training, it's still going to be a minimum of a 4-year program. Yeah, just reach out to us directly and we can work with you on a case by case. But the primary thing to note is you go through the basic admission process as everybody else before a transfer evaluation would be even acknowledged or a request could be submitted.
And just a heads up to the folks on the panel, please check the Q&A because folks are directing some questions to you in there. So make sure that you're popping in there and taking a look. So a few folks, again, really common question is supporting yourself during school. And I think this would be really good for each program to talk about how students can support themselves during the course of the education, what types of financial aid is available, et cetera. So if somebody would like to start on that, that would be fabulous.
Okay. We do have so financial aid available for all provinces in Canada, as well as US too. So FAFSA is available for our US students. Sorry, what was the other question you had, Dr. Yanis, that you said?
Just support. Can you work during school?
Oh, yeah, okay.
There was another question earlier. Could you work during the day and go to school at night? Versus can you work during school? What types of financial aid, scholarship, et cetera, is available? So kind of just the big picture of how do you pay for school?
So yeah, financial aid is available for Canadian students. So all provinces are financial aid available. You can also check your province in terms of your eligibility requirements there. When it comes to US citizens, as I mentioned, you are eligible to apply for FAFSA. When it comes to working though while studying in the program, I mean, our program is pretty intensive as you are in the program full-time Monday to Friday, and then you're also in clinic in evenings and sometimes weekends. So students in our program are able to work part-time. It's just how you're able to sort of manage that. We do have some on-campus sort of jobs. So students at our front desk that are able to cover at our clinic, as well as our pharmacy as well. So there are options like that if you want to work. There are students that have been working part-time. So you can definitely do that. It's just, I guess, how you were able to sort of manage your sort of work and then, programs and courses and your course load versus working part-time.
Yeah, I would like to add on top of that, NUNM is very similar to CCNM in that way, where we definitely don't recommend that you have an additional job because being a full-time medical student is quite intense. So we definitely don't recommend it, but we do have, work study on campus I don't know, some people that do have side jobs, but I would probably save yourself the stress and do your best to just have your school be your full-time job. There are scholarships, financial aid, and other ways that we can help you prepare for that.
I would like to also echo what you've heard. Bastyr is pretty rigorous, so we don't recommend trying to hold a full-time job or even three-quarter time, but there are work-study programs. We do have a modest first-year scholarship that we present to all students that do an early registration. It's called Honors and Entrance Scholarship. I'll put the scholarship link in the chat. And it's a one-time award towards your first year from anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. And as echoed, I also recommend that people look at scholarships. There often are millions of dollars that go unclaimed from scholarships that just people have not applied to. So I would strongly recommend that.
And I'll add on, so like was mentioned, at NUHS, most of our students do use financial aid and student loans to finance the program. We do offer incoming student scholarships based off of undergraduate GPA, and those range from $2,000 to $6,000 depending on your undergraduate GPA. And then many scholarships for current students as well to apply to. And like Daniel said from Bastyr, a lot of them go unclaimed, or if we always encourage students to apply to those scholarships as well. So yeah, I will put in the chat box too our link to our financial aid page that lists out all the scholarships that we offer too.
All I can do is, again, echo pretty much what everybody has already provided. We offer the FAFSA process. Most of our students are on federal financial aid. The program is intense. There are federal work study positions, so some part-time positions on the campus that you could consider. But ultimately, it's really got to be about focus on your academics. So the financial aid is awarded so that tuition and fees are covered and enough money is in your pocket to help cover your rent and food on the table and gas in your car and things like that, so you can stay focused on your academics. Scholarships are awarded. Excuse me. They're incoming students. All incoming students are automatically put into merit-based potential scholarship opportunity, and then you'll be notified of a wide variety of scholarships you can apply for. We have essay-based, need-based, DEI. There's been a variety of new, and then ongoing students, enrolled students are notified on a quarterly basis of different opportunities that they should be applying for. And these scholarships can range anywhere from $250 to $10,000 is the largest that I've seen awarded from our school before.
Thank you. So I know there are specific questions about some of the things in school curricula. I definitely would encourage everybody here today to go ahead and contact the admissions folks' emails that are here so that you can make an appointment with our esteemed colleagues who are here today to answer your specific questions, because I recognize each student has your own profile, your own, transcripts that need to be evaluated, academic things that need to be figured out. So it really is best to connect with the admissions counselors from the school or schools that you're interested in. So all of their contact information is up here on the screen for you. So with that, we have a few other questions coming in. So there is a question about online classes, and I don't know if anybody wanted to take that on, but in general, with the exception of one program having online for the first year, there's hybrid coursework, as we mentioned earlier, and as each of the schools mentioned earlier. So I don't know if anybody wants to speak to that. One thing specifically of note is that a fully online naturopathic degree is not going to get you prepared to be licensed. That will not suffice for licensure in any regulated jurisdiction currently. So just to let you know that you can't do this type of hands-on physician level training fully online. Would anyone else like to jump in?
I'll mention at NUHS, there are a handful of courses in our ND program that are online. Typically ones that do not have a lab associated with them. We do feel it's very important that you're on campus in person for many of the courses due to the hands-on nature of the profession and preparing our students to go out into the workforce. For example, in our first year of the program, students do dissect a full cadaver with a small group of students. So it's really important that you get that hands-on knowledge, and it helps prepare you for the rest of the program.
I would definitely agree with everything that's said. As I mentioned earlier, we balance academic rigor with practical experience. So a lot of programs are hit the ground running, hands-on experience, because there's no way you can kind of practice remotely the experience that you need in person. I also like to add that what Dr. Yanez said, as an admissions advisor at Bastyr, I want to make sure that you get your questions answered as precisely as possible. So I'm kind of the role, and my co-worker, Carrie, we're your guides, your cheerleaders, your advocates in some cases to get you the information that helps facilitate your journey towards your academic success.
Thank you so much. So I know we are starting to wrap up here. So if you have any last questions for our admissions counselors, please do share those. So I know there was one question about prerequisites and entrance examinations. So I did want to just share, Angela did share earlier the AANMC prerequisite page that we have. However, there is no entrance exam that needs to be written if you're either Canadian students or US students. MCAT is not required for entrance into naturopathic program. There is holistic admissions, GPA requirements, prerequisite requirements, etc. But an examination like MCAT is not required at this time. All right, so before we wrap up, I would like each school to share one of your favorite things about your program. Something that folks might not know about. Anyone want to start?
Well, I will, since I kind of left off. I think one of the things that I like is the cohort model. I'm still learning this program, still unpacking all the nuanced positives of the program. But the cohort model, you walk through the halls of Bastyr and you rarely see someone sitting alone. They're all working together, and you come up to the common solutions and support in one another. And I really like that camaraderie that you can feel throughout the school. And everyone seems to know each other fairly well in just walking down the hallways. So I think that lends to a positive academic experience.
Thank you. Anyone else want to jump in?
I haven't talked any since I've been on here. This is Jody from Sonoran. I've been with the school for a little over 17 years, and I would say that Sonoran, my favorite part is how innovative the school is. I've seen a lot of changes with this school, and for the good. I've seen our NCLEX scores change tremendously. So I'm extremely proud of where we're going with this medicine and the profession.
Thanks so much, Jody. Anyone else?
I'll go. I would say it's our close-knit community on campus. We have a little over 500 students total across all of our programs on campus, and just everyone, you always see familiar faces. Everyone, shares, the same passion, and you really feel that on campus, and how passionate our students are and faculty, and so yeah, I would say the close-knit community here.
Thank you. Anyone else want to jump in?
Sure. I feel like NUNM is very, very similar to what other people are saying, which is definitely close knit. But I would say that our students are particularly passionate about justice, particular things, whether that's food justice or environmental justice. Our SGA is a student government association, is very passionate, and they really lead the change at our school. So it's definitely a place for our students to be leaders, and all of them have they make the change, and they help our school definitely get better. They help us see our faults and improve, and it's great to be a part of a university where the students' voices really matter.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Sorry if I can go, Dr. Hayes. CCNM is really big on student life and ensuring that our student voices are heard. And one of the things that we do with our program is we do have class representatives for each sort of cohort. And that's the feedback that we got from our students, that it's great to have that for any feedback that they give to us throughout the program, any events that they want to do, like our BNSA, NSA, they really take part in a lot of our student engagement. And that's one of the top things that students have liked about the program, minus obviously the hard parts of the program as well. But yeah, I would say like the student life. Yeah.
Much. Well, thank you all. Thank you all for sharing your favorite things about your schools. So with that, we are going to conclude today's little roundtable here with the programs. I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you all for spending a little time learning about our schools, and super excited for you on your journey. I hope that you get the answers that you came for today. And if you didn't, you know how to find more. So with that, we will conclude today. Wish you a wonderful rest of your week and a weekend on that. So with that, we will wrap up. Thank you very, very much for coming today.
Hello, everybody.